Is restoring a table saw the right choice for you? What's involved in restoring a table saw? I mean, who actually does that these days? In this video, we're going to answer these questions plus a couple, and I'd like your suggestions on what color scheme you think this table saw should be restored to. Hi, welcome to Forest Woodworks. I'm Joe. I picked up an antique 1940s Walker Turner 10-inch table saw for the sole purpose of restoring it back to 100% functional life and making it the centerpiece in my shop. How did I get here? Why am I choosing to restore an antique table saw? The answer is pretty simple. I did not have a table saw that I felt would be able to grow with me as I grow in my content creation and my woodworking skills. As I started to learn more and more about table saws, I knew that I wanted a cabinet saw. It seems like cabinet saws have a better capacity for dust collection, and since my shop is connected to my home, dust collection is a primary consideration for my shop. You have to consider your budget when deciding whether to buy a new or used table saw. New cabinet saws are very expensive. A used saw is almost always going to have something that needs to be fixed or restored in order to calibrate that saw to function properly. While a used saw might be cheaper initially, with a brand new saw, simply unbox it and you can put it to work almost immediately. The next question you have to consider is what is actually involved in restoring a table saw. From the very beginning, just know that it's going to take time, effort, care, etc. to get that machine working again. Do some research and know what you're looking for, so when that right machine comes along, you'll be able to move on that decision quickly. Be prepared for setbacks, or as I like to say, opportunities. Those are going to present themselves before you even buy your table saw, and they're certainly going to come up throughout the course of your project. We took a look at budget and what's involved in actually restoring a table saw, so those are considerations you want to keep in mind when deciding on your next purchase. Now, let's take a look at some of the benefits associated with buying a used table saw or one that you might have to fully restore. First, you're going to save money initially in buying a used table saw, but just know that throughout the course of that project, you're going to have to spend money, especially if it's a full restoration. Also, this goes back to the research component. You want to know what you're getting into before you make that commitment. Second, you're going to take some pride in that machine as a result of your hard work in bringing it back to life. A third benefit to buying a used machine is that you're going to learn that machine inside and out throughout the course of bringing it back to life. I believe that's going to help you down the road when you're actually working on projects, because you're going to know that machine's specific temperament. If you're still watching this video, it means there's something attractive to you about machine restoration, and it means that you're getting just as excited as I am to see this table saw up close. Let's check it. Here's a closer look at the tabletop surface. As you can see, there's some paint on there from the previous owner. Here's the fence system, completely original and completely intact. I might just have to remake a piece right here. There is the wheel for raising and lowering the blade. There's the bevel gauge. There's the emblem. Both of those are in super good condition. Over here, we have the wheel for adding tilt to the blade. Inside here, we have the trunnion and motor support system. Those are very robust and high quality. That's actually one component that sold me on this. Another component is how good condition this base is. If that's coming through on the video, you can see that there's no major dents, no through rust, no cracks. The only thing I'm gonna have to deal with on this base is the paint. Almost fully enclosed. So that's a quick look at the table saw itself. Let's move on to some of the other parts. Here's a closer look at the throat plate and blade, and that little space right there will accommodate a riving knife, and that riving knife will tilt with the blade, but it will be a mechanical raising and lowering. However, that's another aspect that drew me to this project, is because I can get a riving knife on this thing, and any riving knife is better than no riving knife. Here's a look at the right and left extension wings. Those are in great condition, just a little paint to deal with. Here's the miter gauge. That's all original and great condition, just some rust. There's the pointer for the bevel gauge. Here's the cover for the clean out housing. And there is the front and back rail systems, along with all the hardware I'll need. Here we have the motor. The housing of this motor is in completely great condition for its age, especially this emblem. That's another component in great condition, and I won't have to do anything there. The motor also turns on. I checked that out before I even bought it. What paint color do you think I should use? Leave a comment below. Keep in mind the emblem colors. Since the emblem is in such good condition, I don't think I'm gonna have to do anything there. So ultimately, I'd like the table saw base color to actually accent those colors that are already there. When deciding which color to suggest, think sleek. Think that dream car that you've always wanted to restore. What color would that car be? If there's some other color that you've seen somewhere else that you think would match those emblems or accent them very well, what color is that? Leave that down below. Click the video on your screen if you want to see how I restore my machine tabletop surfaces. In the next video, I'm going to get the tabletop restored, and since this is going to be my main saw, there's no time to waste, and I'll see you soon. Because each machine has its own nuances and its own fidgel-fadgels.